I am Federico Mori. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Diagnostics and son of a rare disease patient. I'm going to graduate in September from UCL Entrepreneurship and planning on working full-time starting then. I also have academic experience at King's and Stanford University, and before Rare Diagnostics, I'd worked in a startup where I was responsible for marketing. I bring entrepreneurial knowledge and network to the team. Felix Ehret is co-founder and chief medical officer. He's a medical doctor with university experience at Harvard, Stanford, and Yale University. He brings the medical acumen and network to the team, which proves incredibly valuable when building the actual product and raising capital. Daphne Demekas is a UCL alum, rare disease patient, and incoming master's student in machine learning at Imperial. She is the lead designer for the behind-the-scenes algorithm, which translates patient data into insights for rare disease diagnosis. Jacopo Madaluni is the technical lead of the business. He has a degree in computer science from King's and relevant experience as a software developer. He is responsible for the general architecture and development of the product. Last but not least, Martin Solka is co-founder and executive advisor. He's a medical doctor with university experience at UC San Francisco and as a management consultant at BCG, focusing primarily on the pharma sector. He brings to the team a very detailed understanding of how the drug discovery process works in pharma for rare diseases. The biggest risk that we're facing, number one, is definitely data handling and GDPR. We're working with what is considered to be sensitive information, and this is definitely reflected in the challenges that we have met when working with European patient organizations as opposed to American ones. We're facing this issue by being hyper transparent with our customers about their data. Rare Diagnostics only cares about data that is valuable for its goal, and we're hyper transparent about where this data actually goes. Number two is team. As any other startup, especially in early stage, we need to ask ourselves how we can retain the talent that we need in order to be a competitive company. So team is definitely on our minds. And number three is raising more capital. So far, we have raised an angel round of 75,000 pounds, but this money will not last forever. Number four is gather enough data to originate revenues through pharma. Basically, another risk that we're facing is the quantity of data per disease that we need in order to be considered an appealing partner from a pharma standpoint. Once we can confirm the magic threshold to be interesting for collaboration, that can give us a more concrete goal for our long-term revenue plan. And finally, number five is reaching patients organically. From a marketing perspective, we are now doing a very hands-on approach, which is contacting patient organizations one by one. And at some point, this way of pushing the product out will not be sustainable enough to allow us to scale rapidly. So traction. Our original product, an MVP, was supposed to be a symptom checker for doctors. Since then, we have pivoted to the current idea and product that we're building because of the countless customer conversations that we've had with doctors and patients, through which we realized that the pain of the problem lies with patients, not with doctors. Since our pivot, we have seen much more interest throughout our conversations, and we have finalized partnerships with two large patient organizations to bring our product to market. From case reports, we have collected over 1,000 patient data points, and through this information, we have managed to bring the accuracy of our diagnostic algorithm to the correct disease being ranked in the top 50 results 80% of the time. On top of that, we have recently closed our angel round, which will give us 6 months runway to allow us to work full-time on the project until January. And through speaking with our investor, as well as experts in the rare disease space that we met through our network in the UCL School of Management and Kickstart Global, we have received a lot of confidence about our pivot and our potential. We have participated in 3 different programs, winning first place at the UCL School of Management and second place at launch, raising a total amount of £6,000 equity free. We have identified that the gatekeeper approach that consists of reaching out to patient organizations and through them reaching out to patients directly works. In order to find our first 50 paying customers, as in post-beta, The strategy that we will use consists of reaching out to those organizations for patients that suffer from rare diseases that are also area of interest to pharmaceutical companies. For example, cystic fibrosis, metabolic rare diseases, and neurological rare diseases. These are all groups that are within reach of our team's professional network. And through them and the methodology that we have adapted in these months, we are looking to onboard diagnosed patients from these organizations, so to reach a high level of users, originate initial revenue through them, and start talking partnership opportunities with biotechnology companies. So our first tangible achievement happened almost 9 months ago, which set us off on a track to a lot of opportunities. In January 2020, we finished our fully functioning MVP and shipped it out to doctors and patients for feedbacks. This was an effort that we achieved as a team with no funding in our free time while we were mostly all still students. Then soon after, COVID happened. Because of this massive shock, we had time to think, reanalyze, and strategize. At that point, the biggest achievement for us as a team was recognizing that the idea that we had, although it sounded good and was convincing, didn't make much business sense. As in, we were solving a problem for people who didn't feel the pain of the problem. Once we recognized this, we took the decision to pivot. We restarted talking to a huge number of patients in a very short amount of time. And we realized that the key would be giving them insights into their own diseases. So we set on building Diagnostics version 2.0, and we managed to close a deal with an investor. Just last month, we successfully raised our angel round, which was a huge achievement, and we finally incorporated Diagnostics. So when Diagnostics was born in 2018, Felix and Martin were beginning their medical careers in Germany, learning about the complexity of diagnosing rare diseases in their daily lives through patients, doctors, and educators. Meanwhile, I was personally experiencing the burden of medical uncertainty through my mother in Italy, who spent 3 years trying to find a diagnosis for her condition. During that time, I was living in London, where I met Daphne, an American mathematician and rare disease patient, who joined us next, and brought along Jacopo, an Italian computer scientist and son of a doctor. In the past year, we have realized that when companies approach the rare disease space, they often do it from a specific angle. For example, drug discovery companies approach the pharmaceutical angle of rare diseases and ignore the patient journey, whereas patient organizations focus on the community and much less on the importance of data collection. Our competitive advantage is that within our team, we have a wide range of perspectives about the problem of rare disease diagnosis.